breaks over the rugged trail. The hermit pauses, observing peaks reflected in the mirror like lake. This trek is no mere routine, but a vital inspection of his sprawling agricultural domain. Water flows steadily onto wild flora, sustaining the slope's delicate ecological balance. Moving through dense crops, he adjusts irrigation channels with precision, ensuring every root receives adequate hydration. A final sprinkle seals his morning dedication, transforming the barren hillside into a thriving sanctuary. Footsteps echo on the rocky shore. The recluse boards his wooden canoe, arranging oars for the journey ahead. This crossing is not merely a commute, but a daily testament to his unwavering commitment to this isolated haven. Gripping the watering can, he begins the steep ascent, his loyal hound weaving through the tall grass. Each upward step marks a deliberate conquest of the harsh terrain, proving his resolve to maintain this far-flung paradise. Dewdrops cling to the textured skin of a mature melon. The hermit steps into the bamboo trellis, directing water precisely to the roots in tranquil silence. This meticulous irrigation nurtures the future harvest, hidden beneath lush foliage. In a sunlit clearing, he tends to blooming flowers with unhurried grace, maintaining the aesthetic harmony of his woodland garden. Turning away, he descends the slope with his green can, disappearing into the dense forest as his loyal dog trails closely behind. Morning light filters through the bamboo fence. The recluse walks toward his hut with a green watering can black dog in tow. He rinses his hands in the stream, a quiet transition to labor. Bending low, he waters roots beneath the trellis, mist-soaking dry soil. Moving through the bamboo, he sustains the plants, the distant lake shimmering behind his silent diligence. Kneeling beside the bamboo fence, he ensures every newly planted seedling is thoroughly soaked. This targeted watering is not a mere chore, but a critical investment in the survival of his most vulnerable crops. Navigating the narrow gaps within the trellis, he focuses on the climbing vines. From the outside, water arcs precisely onto the leaf clusters, penetrating the dense green canop. The panoramic view reveals a meticulously organized garden, where his figure fades into the verdant undergrowth. Lush melon vines drape the bamboo arrays on the lakeside slope. The hermit emerges from behind a rock, crossing the trellis with his dog. He shifts focus to structural expansion, selecting a long bamboo pole. With a machete, he sharpens one end for use as a ground anchor. This act signals a new phase in his agricultural engineering. He shaves off excess nodes, smoothing raw bamboo into usable material. His two dogs watch intently, the silent supervisors of this wilderness workshop. He adjusts weaving density, ensuring the structure bears the weight of climbing vines. Crouching on grass, his hands move with agile precision, intertwining bamboo strips into a robust mesh. This intricate weaving is a dialogue between human ingenuity and nature, creating a sturdy cradle for future growth. He gently guides tender melon leaves onto the bamboo frame, channeling energy toward upward growth, rather than chaotic sprawl. The expansive trellis stands as a monument to his long-term vision, with the tabby dog wandering leisurely in the background. Organizing fresh poles by a rock, he prepares for structural reinforcement. Bathed in sunlight, he meticulously trims bamboo strips, his focus absolute against the shimmering lake and distant mountains. He looks up to tie the ropes, securing every intersection against the unpredictable mountain winds. This reinforcement is vital, protecting months of agricultural effort from sudden collapse. carrying the watering can. He steps out of the fenced area, his black dog rising to follow him closely. Together they descend the grassy slope, where the tranquil lake mirrors the Emerald Mountains. He boards the canoe and begins to row with a steady rhythm, turning back to shout commands to the dogs on the shore. The canoe cuts a long arc across the vast lake. Rowing with steady strength, the Vermit whistles to urge his dogs along the bank to keep pace. This synchronized motion reveals a deep bond forged in isolation. From above, the floating wooden house comes into view, ringed by drifting vegetable plots, marking his return to this peaceful aquatic sanctuary. He wades into the clear shallows, clearing weeds beneath the bamboo's reflection. This vital preparation prevents nutrient competition before the main harvest begins. Standing waist deep, he saws through dense rice clusters, stacking the cut, stalks aside. The golden grains glisten in the sun, a testament to fertile soil and his relentless care. Moving deeper into the field, he cuts the inner rows, transforming the quiet water into a bustling zone of agricultural productivity. Pink and purple flowers bloom vibrantly in a bamboo basket, offering a stark contrast to the gritty harvest labor. He merges the freshly cut rice with previous batches into a massive bundle, carrying it steadily toward the shore. Holding up a large handful of rice against the sunlight, he inspects the color and plumpness, ensuring the quality meets his exacting standards. Beneath the surface, the saw glides smoothly through the roots, the clean cuts ensuring minimal damage to the remaining stalks. He bends for the final cluster, holding the plump rice to savor the harvest's weight. Carrying the thick bundle across the field and bamboo platform, the heavy load symbolizes the rewards of his aquatic farming. Shouldering the massive stack, he wades through waist-deep water toward the floating hut. Sunlight dances on the lake as he reaches the deck, neatly stacking the rice and organizing the stalks to conclude this grueling reaping phase. He carefully selects suitable stalks from a bundle of straw, while dried corn hangs neatly in the background. Seated on a bamboo mat inside the pavilion, he rhythmically strips withered leaves using his practiced hands. This meticulous cleaning prevents mold, ensuring proper drying in the humid lake AI. His fingers deftly separate husks to pick the plumpest spikes for seed preservation. A quick glance at the weather precedes his immediate return to the task. Driven by the ticking clock of changing seasons, seated beside orange flower bushes, he merges processed stalks to begin binding. Pulling fiber strips taut, he ties secure knots with decisive force, ensuring bundles withstand long storage. This technique prevents mold and shields grains from pests and moisture damage. Stripping outer skins rapidly, the sound of falling leaves echoes clearly on the deck. Placing the tied bundle behind him, he reaches for new material. His seamless workflow transforming chaotic harvest into orderly, manageable reserves. He lifts a heavy bundle of ripe rice, eyes reflecting deep satisfaction with the land's generous gift. After tying the last sheaf into the neat row, he sets it down and picks up a sharp hunting knife. With focused precision, he carves a single stalk, splitting the base and refining the interior with careful adjustments until a small whistle takes shape from the humble plant material. This sudden shift is not a random distraction, but a spontaneous creative release born from the rhythm of relentless labor that has defined his solitary days. Lifting a large stack of straw, he carries it securely against his chest, preparing to leave the bamboo platform, accompanied by the black dog leaping over the rocks. He returns with long poles to construct a drying rack. This elevated structure is not just for display, but a practical necessity to maximize air circulation and prevent the grains from rotting in the damp air. Filling the cross beams methodically, the rice spikes sway gently in the breeze, blending harmoniously with the lake and mountains. Completing the final row of hanging, the entire rack is laden with the golden harvest, a towering monument to a season of relentless toil. Arriving at the floating vegetable plot, he bends to inspect the crops, his dog waiting by the path. This routine check is a vital diagnostic to identify nutrient deficiencies before they compromise the yield. Squatting among dense weeds, he uproots intrusive plants by hand, tossing them into the water to avoid damaging delicate vegetables. With a sickle, he swiftly cuts thick grass clusters with precise strokes. The blade flashes severing withered weeds at the base and revealing vibrant green vegetation beneath, restoring order to the aquatic garden. Crouching at the wooden board's edge, he swings the sickle to trim overhanging weeds with forceful, continuous strokes. Moving to the neat seedbeds, he presses fingers into soil, assessing texture for optimal growth conditions. This tactile check proves far more reliable than mere visual guesswork. In muddy rock crevices, he digs dark, moist earth into a white bucket, then bends to pour it evenly over the beds, creating a uniform foundation for new seedlings. Pouring the second bucket of soil, he levels the bed, while his dog watches quietly from the edge. With a large machete, he precisely trims seedling roots, holding the prepared green shoots. This pruning is a specialized technique stimulating new root growth for rapid adaptation. Kneeling by the moist trough, he parts the earth, inserting seedlings upright and pressing soil firmly around them. Selecting water spinach stems, he cuts sections with a crisp sound, inserting tender cuttings into mud to propagate the next crop. A rooster's crow breaks the silence as he rapidly inserts rows of seedlings into the mud. Within the narrow wooden frame, he ensures each plant has sufficient spacing for optimal growth. This meticulous geometry transforms a chaotic patch into an organized agricultural grid. Pressing the final seedling firmly into the silt, he concludes the planting session. Striding down the long boardwalk in the setting sun, towel in hand and bare-chested, his muscular physique stands as a living record of his self-sufficient lifestyle. Ew, ew.
¿Qué? Ew. ¿Qué? Uy. ¿Qué?
Right.
Ya. Vale.
Crouching by the deck, he holds the wet black dog, cupping lake water to splash its back. This bathing is not merely for hygiene. but a vital cooling measure after hours in the sun. Massaging the fur, he watches it squint in comfort. Their silent interaction reflecting a deep bond. Switching to the tappy, he repeats the washing against the deepening lake and mountains. Pouring water over its head, he watches it lick the droplets, his expression relaxing into satisfaction as the day's labors wash away.